Hello and welcome back to Ross Taylor Woodworks. This time we've got a Barrister bookcase. It's kind of falling apart. The base is falling apart. I'll show you that in a second. The finish is the original finish. I'm going to try to preserve the original finish. And it's extremely dirty, so I'm going to do some cleaning and do some repairs on that base. And as you can see on the top here, it's got some water damage. The veneer is bubbling up here a little bit, and it's got an ink stain right here. So I'm going to take a closer look and see what I can do with this. Possibly might have to strip the top here and do some veneer repair and then refinish the top here. The base, it has a drawer. It's got really nice hardware. That's just coming apart. This is the toe kick on the front here. Made by Wernicke. I'm going to be very careful to preserve these tags. And you can see how dirty the drawer is here. I'm going to slide the doors out. They just are on little hooks, and then just slide the door off the hook eyes here, and remove the cactus leaves. Now the one section, the label has come apart and peeled off, so I'm going to collect all the pieces here and see if I can reassemble the label. Going to quickly glue this back together. Doesn't look like they even used any glue. I don't see any glue used, but I'm just going to use a yellow glue since looks like there's no glue. I was in the middle of putting this together, and I noticed a couple parts were missing. A rail and the back panel. So I made a rail and a back panel. Alright, I'm ready to work on the top here. It's got a little bit of veneer damage right here. A plant or something was sitting right here. So I have to open up these cracks and get some glue in here. And I'm going to clamp it flat. Alright, this top surface is only about a 1/4 inch thick. And it's basically hollow inside here. So I've got some filler blocks inside the top here, pressing against the 1/4 inch top. Then I'll use a parallel clamp. And I'm going to take a razor blade and try to open up these cracks. The cracks opened up here. Actually shaved a little bit off each edge of the crack so it'll lay flat. And I'm taking a knife here and kind of going underneath. Make sure it's clean underneath there. There's nothing underneath there, so it'll lay flat. And be able to pick it up and work some glue under there. We're pretty good here. Start putting some glue in there. Got one little piece right here. Okay, there's one little piece there I can get out. There. There. Okay, I think everything will lay flat now. Now I've made a clamping block with some foil tape on it. Now I'm going to let that sit overnight. Now I've got the top stripped down. The veneer repair came out great. I first started off with a cabinet scraper and scraped off most of the finish. Then there was still a little bit of a residue of the old finish. Used some lacquer thinner to scrub it down to bare wood. Now I'm going to hit it with some 100 grit sandpaper. I'm only removing the finish from the top surface, being very careful not to damage the front edge or the sides. Now I'm going to bleach the entire top. Minor rings I'm not too concerned about, but those dark spots are quite visible. So I'm going to put a little bit of extra on those dark spots. Okay, after bleaching and then neutralizing the bleach, I let it dry overnight and then sand it up to 150 grit. And there was quite a bit of an improvement on those dark spots. Now I'm going to use some shellac and pigments to bring the color back up to the original finish. In this case, it only took one coat, and I was able to get pretty close to the original color. Now I'm going to scuff sand the entire piece with 320 grit in preparation for glazing the entire piece. Now I've mixed up half mahogany and half walnut and thinned it half with naphtha. I'm going to glaze the entire piece. A couple sides were kind of bleached out, so this will give it the whole piece kind of a uniform color. The interiors are finished with shellac, so I just did a recoat on the inside with orange shellac. Okay, I've got this label that's fell apart, and I did a test fit. Most of the pieces are here. Now what I'm going to do is glue it to a piece of craft paper. I've got a piece of craft paper pinned to a board. And I'm going to use some wallpaper paste and take the label and paste it down to the craft paper. Okay, I first sealed the paper with some acrylic spray. I've got a line squared off here. So I'm going to start with the biggest piece first. Get that pasted down. And then probably the next piece is this one. And then I'll get the smaller pieces. I've got a larger brush here. I'm going to kind of brush it down. Okay, now the next one is this one. Got one corner here that doesn't want to stay down. I'm going to see if I can put some more under there. Okay, I'm going to keep working these edges down and then see how it looks like when it dries. Okay, it's the next morning. I let this dry overnight. Looks great. Those edges glued right down. So I'm going to take it off the board here. Looks real good. Now I'm going to cut it out of the craft paper. And I'll do some touch-ups on the edge. Nice and solid. Now I'm just going to go down and do some touch-ups. Okay, mixed up a little bit of paint with shellac and pigments. Mixed black and a little bit of burnt umber. Okay, there we go. That'll dry very quickly. Then I can paste it on the cabinet. Now I'm going to press it in place. I cleaned the brush. Okay, that looks good.